Hi, and welcome to this, the third intelligent conversation in the series From Real to the Reality. Learn, love, live. And the topic for this intelligent conversation is the authority of me. Is there a God? Before we go into this topic, let's look at what we've concluded in the last topic. 1. We've concluded that nature is a grand intelligent design, and the human race is a fundamental part of this grand intelligent design. 2. We've also concluded that the physical engineering of nature, which also includes this human body, is designed and built for the purpose of learning, adapting, and evolving. And the third conclusion is, the more evolved the physical brain, the more evolved is the mind and intellectual capacity. And this evolved mind and intellectual capacity gives rise to the sense of individuality. And the fourth and last conclusion, this sense of individuality is an integrated mind and intellect sense of awareness. And this sense of awareness is dependent on authorities of learning and knowledge for its growth and expansion. This sense of individuality, being a product of the mind and the faculty of the intellect, means that it is an instrument of learning. To understand and explore this sense of individuality, let's take a step closer into the inner workings of our mind and the workings of our learning process. You and I are the witness of data that enters the mind. And this data can be in the form of experiences coming in from our senses or sensory perceptions, and also emotional feelings that rise from within our subconscious. And the ingrained habit of the mind is to profile all this incoming data as something or someone. At a point when the spark of life was switched on in that single cellular organism, which today is you and I, data or sensory perceptions from the body of that organism started to fill the mind. And as mentioned, the habit of the mind and intellect is to profile all data into something or someone. And the sensory perceptions from the body, which made the body feel real, became the something, and the witness of the data in the mind became the someone. In other words, you and I, based on the way we operate and based on the way we are built to operate, we came to the decision or a resolve that I am something and I am someone. And why did we decide this? Because there was no prior information or data in the mind to profile the experience coming in from the single cellular organism, and also data of this witness of this information that is flowing in the mind. So based on the fact that there was no memory of it, a decision and a resolve was made to profile the body as a thing and the witness of all the information flowing in the mind as someone. And when this decision or resolve was made, this gave rise to the sense of individuality, the sense that I am different, the sense that I am a thing, and also I am someone. And this was the birth of the authority of me. And from this point on, all data that enters the mind from the body through our sensory perceptions and emotions and feelings that rise from the subconscious into the mind is referenced against this I am someone, which we said is the authority of me. This authority of me, because there's no knowledge or prior knowledge of itself or of this someone, and the only knowledge it knows is coming from the body and the feelings and emotions that are rising from the subconscious, it deems itself as I am the body and I am the emotions. And we all know that the nature of the mind and creation is expansion, and in expansion of the mind it is a continuous forward movement of thoughts. And this very strong forward movement of thoughts in the mind almost inhibits our ability to slow the mind down, reflect, and ask the big questions in life. And this authority of me, with all its own longings, cravings, and hankerings, using the mind and body, goes on its own journey of expansion. In the last two topics, we have concluded that the nature of creation is intelligence. Intelligence existed before you and I came into this world of experiences, and we know for a fact that intelligence will continue to exist when you and I leave this world of experiences. This continuous eternal field of intelligence, science refers to it as the unified field of creation or creativity. Religion refers to the same intelligence as God, and philosophy calls it that. Now, let's look at the journey of this authority of me after it has resolved that it is the body and it is the mind. As the physical body grows, the brain develops, and as the brain develops, the mind expands. And this authority of me, using the expansion of the brain and the expansion of the mind, starts to form relationships with things and all its social arrangements. Totally ignorant of any previous existence of itself or prior knowledge of itself, this authority of me, using the body, using the mind, pursues the world with the hope of finding a perfect experience with a thing or a person. And the whole journey of human life unfolds. And going from experience to experience of things, people, and emotion, it builds an entire personality around itself. In fact, it builds an entire world around itself. Not knowing and also not wanting to know its origin and purpose, this authority of me becomes stronger and stronger. Eventually, and being in full control of the mind and the body, this authority of me is now the self-motivator of our thinking, imaginations, and also the self-motivator of our actions, good and bad. And at some point in the lifespan of the authority of me, and through the process of evolution, it realizes that it is caught up in a vicious loop. And from this point onwards, a new chapter or a new journey from real to the reality begins. This topic, the authority of me is their God, focuses on the area of love, but not just any love, unconditional self-love. Over and over again, I've been mentioning evolution, but the question arises, what are we evolving to? Based on the way we learn, expand, and evolve, we are hoping that we evolve to the highest experience. We know that being dependent on things is not giving us the highest experience. no matter how much I search and seek it out in the world of things. It is not. In other words, the highest experience has to be an independent experience. It has to be independent of the body, the mind, and all the intelligence in creation. And this highest experience has to be the essence of everything, including all the intelligence in creation. And this essence, I refer to it as self-love. It is the very essence of yourself. It is also the very essence of creation, and it is also the very essence of all the intelligence in creation. To avoid myself making this topic too complicated and complex, at this point I would like to conclude this topic titled "The Authority of Me. Is There a God?" I know that this topic was a little difficult to understand in the previous two topics. But please don't give up. Please take your time and listen to this over and over again. It will definitely come to you. I had the same experience, and I myself went through the same process of listening over and over again so that I can relearn this kind of thinking. And for those serious learners and seekers, please make notes and draw pictures or diagrams if you have to. You will get it. And leading on from this conversation, we move into the next conversation titled Driving Forces of the Mind, Love and Hate, etc. Thank you for listening to another powerful, intelligent conversation brought to you by P2 Create. Every creative idea is a potential. These talks are available on YouTube and Facebook. Please search P2 Create. That is P2 Create. Thank you. If you feel that these talks have benefited you in some way and you would like to see more content from me, then please support me by becoming a patron on patreon.com/P2Create. That is patreon.com/P2Create. Thank you for your support.